Hello everyone, welcome to this video tutorial about the frequency distribution table. So define muna natin kung ano muna yung frequency distribution. Frequency distribution is a collection of observation produced by sorting them into classes and showing their frequency. So dun sa previous video natin, kinompute natin yung measures of central tendency na mean, median, mode, pero yun yung mga naka-ungroup na data. So here, kaya tayo mag-aaral create ng frequency distribution table para naman ito sa mga group data. So here is the sample. First half pa lang to ng isang frequency distribution table. So meron pa tayong mga idadagdag na column dyan sa mga susunod na video. So kung mapansin nyo sa screen, meron tayong 4 na column. Class interval, yung unang column. Frequency, yung pangalawang column. Yung third column is the class mark or the X. Tapos yung fourth column is the product ng frequency at class mark, F times X. Sa babang row naman, sa kaliwa is the I, which is the class size. Turuan ko kayo mag-compute nyan. And then yung N is the number of total values. And then yung nasa right side naman sa baba is the summation of the product of Fx. Okay, so let us define some terms muna para mas maintindihan natin kung paano mag-create ng isang frequency distribution table. So the first one is the range. It is the difference of the highest score and the lowest score. So sa formula, it is range or R is equal to HS minus LS, where R is the range, HS is the highest score, and LS is the lowest score. So example niyan, so kunyari ang example, highest score natin is 40 and then yung lowest score natin is 15. So ang range natin will be 35. Okay, so sana nakakasunod po. Next is the class interval, represented by the variable k. It is the desired number of groups into which the distribution of observation should be classified. Ito yung kung ilang row yung gagamitin natin. Okay, row is the horizontal line. Example. So there is a formula in finding the class interval. K is equal to 1 plus 3.322 logarithm of n. So suppose ang n natin is 15, kunyari 15. So K now is equal to 1 plus 3.322 log of 15. So ang K natin is 4.9. Pero ira-round up natin siya, round up. So magiging ang K natin is 5. So 5 rows ang mangyayari sa ating frequency distribution table. So ito yung first one, second one, third, fourth, and the fifth one. Next is the lower class limit. So it is the smallest value in every class. So for example, yan ang ating class interval. So ang lower class limit dito is 40, 45, at 50. Next is the higher class limit naman. It is the largest value in every class. So kung ang 40, 45, 50 ang lower class limit, ang higher class limit naman 44, 49, at 54. Okay po. Class mark or the variable x, it is the midpoint of each classes. So ang formula natin, lower limit plus higher limit divided by 2. For example, so meron tayo ditong class interval. So para makuha natin yung class mark for each classes, so add lang natin yung lower limit at saka higher limit, tapos i-divide natin ng 2. So dun sa first class, 40 plus 44, 42. Divided by 2 is 42. So next is 45 plus 49. Tapos divide natin ng 2, 47. 50 plus 54 is 104. Pag dinivide natin ng 2, 52. So 50 plus 55 plus 59 divided by 2 is 57. 60 plus 64, that's 124, divided by 2 is 62. So, magkakaroon na tayo ngayon ng column para sa class mark. So, ganyan lang kumuha ng class mark. Add mo lang yung lower limit at higher limit ng bawat classes, tapos divide mo ng 2. Next is the class size, yung I. This is the difference between two consecutive class lower limit. So, may formula tayo sa pagkuha ng I is equal to the range divided by K. For example, na-compute na natin yung I. So, meron tayong 5. So, sa class interval, makikita natin dito, yung difference daw ng 45 minus 40 is 5. Also, 50 minus 45 is 5. Or, pwede mo naman siyang bilangin, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44 is 5. Also, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 5 din ang ating class size. So, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 5 din yung class size nun. Okay? So, let us have an illustrative example. Prepare a frequency distribution table. So, below are the scores of the first summative test of grade 10 section 2. So, meron tayong raw data dito, pero naka-arrange siya na lowest to highest. So, yung ibang kasing raw data ay labo-labo pa yan. So, ang gagawin mo para madali kang kumuha ng frequency sa bawat classes, ay arrange mo siya from lowest to highest at hindi ka na magtatali pa. Okay? So, sana naunawaan ako doon. So, ang step 1 natin is find the total number of values. So, ang gagawin mo lang para makuha mo yung n, bilangin mo lang kung ilan yung mga scores na yan. So, in our example, sa bawat row dito, 9 eh. So, meron tayong 9 times 4 will be 36. Bilangin lang natin yan, 36 lahat-lahat. Okay? Yan ang step 1. Step 2 is compute for the range. So, since naka-arrange naman siya sa from lowest to highest, we can compute for the range. Makitang-kita natin na ang ating highest score is 24 at ang lowest score is 8. Therefore, ang range natin, 24 minus 8, that will give us 16. Step 3 natin is to compute for the class interval or the number of classes. So, there is a formula, k is equal to 1 plus 3.322 times the logarithm of n. So, since alam natin yung value ng n kanina, which is 36, so 1 plus 3.322 times the logarithm of 36. So, ang k natin will be 6.17. Pero, sabi, kailangan always mag-round up tayo. So, ang k natin now will be 7. So, 7 rows ang gagawin natin. Next is find the class size or yung I. So, dun sa bawat class interval, para malaman natin yung lower limit at higher limit, compute natin yung class size. So, yung formula natin para sa class size, I is equal to the range divided by K. Since alam na natin yung R, which is 16, yan yung range natin na na-compute kanina. Tapos yung K natin doon sa step 3, which is 7. Ang I natin is 2.286. Always round up pa rin tayo. So, ang I natin will be 3. Okay, so sana nakakasunod po. Now, we are ready here to create the frequency distribution table. So, ang n natin is 36. Yan yung bilang natin kanina. So, lagay na natin dun sa lower part. N is equal to 36. Tapos, yung k natin, 7. So, kung mapansin nyo, 7 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then, yung I natin na na-compute, o yung class size is equal to 3. Ilagay na natin dun sa lower part. Okay, ang lowest score natin is 8. Doon ka magsisimula. Tapos, bumilang ka ng 3. So, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so yan yung ating unang class interval. Sumunod, 11, 12, 13. Next is 14 to 16. 17, 18, 19. 20, 21, 22. 23 to 25. 26 to 28. Okay, so sa lowest score tayo nagsimula, 8. Bumilang tayo ng 3 kasi yun ang ating class size. So 8 to 10. So ganun lang hanggang sa makuha mo yung dulong-dulo. Next is the frequency. So balik ka uli dun sa raw data natin na naka-arrange naman, lowest to highest. Bilangin mo ngayon yung mga scores between 8 to 10. So meron tayong 5. Tapos bilangin mo yung 11 to 13. So meron tayong 13. Then next is 14 to 16. Bilangin lang natin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then 17 to 19. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. O 6 lang. Next is the 20 to 22. We have 3. 23 to 25. Meron tayong 2. And then 26 to 28, 0. Next yun na column na ipifill up natin is yung sa class mark. So kanina ang in-explain natin kung ano yung lower limit tsaka yung higher limit. So i-add daw natin yon and then di-divide mo lang ng 2. So here 26 plus 28 divided by 2 will give us 27. 23 plus 25 is 48 divided by 2 is 24. 20 plus 22 will give us 42. So, ang class mark niyan is 21. 17 plus 19, 36 divided by 2 is 18. 14 plus 16 is 30 divided by 2 is 15. 11 plus 13 is 24 divided by 2 will give us 12. 8 plus 10 is 18 divided by 2 will give us 9. So, isang column na lang ang ipifill up natin which is the product of fx or the frequency times the class mark. Okay, so dire-diretso na po tayo. 0 times 27 will give us 0. 2 times 24 is 48. Lagay natin doon sa right side. 3 times 21 will give us 63. 6 times 18 is 108. Then 7 times 15 is 105. 13 times 12 is 156. And then finally, 5 times 9 is 45. After that, kapag na-fill up na natin yung fx or lahat ng row sa f times x, i-add natin siya para makuha natin yung summation of the product of the frequency and the class mark. So, sa pag-add natin, nakuha nating sum is 525. So, ganun lang po ang first half ng frequency distribution table. So, unang gagawin mo is to arrange the scores in lowest to highest, then compute for the range. Pagkatapos compute ang range is compute for k or yung class interval para malaman mo kung ilang row. And then after that, compute mo yung class size. Pero always remember na round up tayo. After that, bilangin mo na yung frequency sa bawat class interval. Tapos, kunin mo yung class mark. Since you know already the lower limit and the upper limit or the higher limit, makukuha mo na yung class mark sa bawat classes. And then, multiply mo yung frequency tsaka yung class mark para makuha mo yung fx. After that, i-add mo lang lahat ng product ng frequency class mark sa bawat classes para makuha mo yung summation ng fx. Okay po, so sana naunawaan po ako. Sa susunod na video ay didiretso natin yan sa mga susunod pang mga column. Meron pa tayong tinatawag na cumulative frequency, lower cumulative frequency, etc. etc. Okay, so sana naunawaan po ako. That ends our discussion for today. Thanks be to God.